Hi, all my Pisceans, Pisces, all you sun, moon, rising, Pisces signs, and Venus in Pisces. This is your homework family reading. Get us some light. This is your homework family reading for June 15th through the last day of the month. I believe it's the 31st. 30th. I don't believe we have a 31st in June. But I'm laughing because as soon as I said reading, who comes? And it's funny because as soon as I started getting everything together, he came and jumped up in here in the box of all of my cards and everything, and then he left. And I was like, okay, apparently he's not going to be here for this reading. But he come running back. So if you don't know, if you haven't watched the video before, this is Mr. Neptune. And Neptune tends to show up when the readings start to happen, typically. Now, an important thing some of you may find is Spirit told me more or less exactly at 5 a.m. it was time to do the reading for Pisces. So 5 may be an important number for you. You might want to be looking into that. For me, 5 typically means adaptability and change. Adaptability and change is basically what's going to be going on, at least for some of you. Like I said, you might see that happening, considering I was told exactly at 5 a.m. Now, also, I am being told, yes, you're going to be having things that are going to be changing and shifting, and you're going to be getting, that spiritual urges, spiritual feelings of download, spiritual intuition of things that are changing in the outer physical and material world. And yes, you need to take action on them. However, I am also being told in the outer community that definitely there are some ego issues that are going to be frustrated and irritating. Maybe going to be dealing with situations of grief from the 15th through the 31st. And you are really going to need to deal with them from the heart chakra. You are going to need to be dealing with them with heart. And I don't feel like it's not standing your ground, but I feel like, hi. But I feel like it is definitely whatever it is you're communicating to the outer community. Make sure that it's coming from your heart, and I feel more like from your soul than your heart. No, you're not going to start ripping up my paperwork. I feel like it's really connecting with your 4. Connecting with what your 4 is important to you. Your sorry, I got hair from Neptune on me. It's about really connecting with your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical, and where that is speaking to your soul. Sorry, hair still from Neptune. And where that is bringing that, heart and soul connection into what you need to communicate to the outer community. Because some of that is going to be ego issues. Some of that I'm also being told is going to have to deal with using and knowing the proper timing and how to go about it. Anything else? It's just saying it'll be dealing with natural cycles. When I start looking at my notes, Spirit starts to highlight things. It's just the way it works for me. I don't hear them so well. So they have other ways of communicating. But there are things in the outer community that you are going to be communicating outwardly that you need to check your 4 on. You need to check your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical, so that you can come into your true soulfulness and what that is that your heart and soul desires, so that you can truthfully speak to the outer community that might be having issues with grief and frustration and egotistical situations going on that you're not very comfortable with, but that you need to truthfully get to the root of and ways of how you're going to be communicating it. And like I said, I feel like you're going to be given information about that, and how to go about that, but I believe that it will be dealing somewhat with delicate timing in some forms, is what I'm also being given. Now, I'm trying to check something else here. that I'm making sure I'm understanding right. Some of it is going to also be dealing with problems with being stubborn and inflexible. Maybe from them or maybe from you. But there is that situation going to be coming up. I do feel like a lot of this is going to be taking place with your third eye and your crown. Staying away from the negativity. Because, okay, when I have too much negativity being brought to me or too much negative energy that I'm scooping up, it starts to hurt the back of my head, like right here. And that's the energy that I'm getting right now. And I feel like it's connecting with my ear and my jaw. So it has to do with what you're hearing versus what you're saying. That communication coming outwardly versus, like I said, something about that egotistical or ego censored information that you may be getting and how you're going to act on it. And you very much need to check your four. It basically is what I'm being brought back to. It's coming from the ear. But like I said, there is something definitely that there is something that needs to be acted on, but you might be delicate about the proper timing. This is basically getting to a deeper level, a deeper root of spiritual soulfulness, spiritual wholeness as you're, yeah, because I feel like I'm being pulled up, like I'm being elevated. So this is helping you to elevate yourself, but you are going to find those issues that you are going to be dealing with as you're coming through that. And I'm also being told it will be speaking also with your solar plexus that I can energy, your power, your self-esteem energy, the power to feel like I can. Anything you put I can in front of, you are casting a spell on yourself. Or I can't, you are casting a spell on yourself. So understand that that's a self-belief, a self-projected information that you put on yourself without maybe even acknowledging it. We as human beings, we don't realize we easily accidentally curse ourselves over and over and over again because of the shit we say. And we hear ourselves say it. Our higher self hears ourselves say it. And what I'm getting is just like what the idea of your guardian angel just going, there they go again. And every time you do that stuff, you take yourself further away from your higher energy. You take yourself further away from self-belief and being able to project yourself to that higher vibration because you're telling yourself you can't. So a lot of this, I think, is also going to come down to listening to what you hear yourself saying and making sure that what you hear yourself saying has to do with giving you, it has to do with, they just said, with giving you the I can energy, that you are capable of it, that you believing of it. And I'm being given courageousness with tranquility, finding the two of them coming together. Now, if I get into the astrology, because that's what Spirit has for me right off the bat. If I get into the astrology, I have my runes out for a specific reason. Not my runes, but my rune book. And I'm going to come back to that for just a second. I'm just going to walk through the important things that are changing from the 15th through the 30th of June. You're going to have the full moon, which is going to take place on a Monday on the 17th. Now, that is going to be, you're going to hear a lot of people say that it's Sagittarius or it's Capricorn, that full moon. It's not either. It's, if anything, it's more Capricorn than Sagittarius. It is a void of course. It takes place while while the moon is leaving Sagittarius and going into Capricorn. So it will have a little bit of both energies, of both the fire and the earth energy going on in it. And Sagittarius is, I like to call Sagittarius energy, Tomb Raider or Indiana Jones. It wants to know, it wants to learn, it wants to go. Let's go, go, go. I want to know, I want to understand. Please tell me more. Yes, 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 and now. That's kind of what I take from the Sagittarius energy. It's a very fire energy. It's ready for the next thing. It's always ready for the next thing. It's doesn't stay in the here and now so much because it's always ready for the next thing. Where Capricorn is more methodical. It's more down to earth, and let's build this foundation. So this energy that's coming in this full moon is going from Sagittarius to Capricorn. You're going to be feeling a little bit of both of them, and I'm going to come back and check on that. It's taking place on the 17th. Now, you also have Jera. Jera in astrology. First off, before I get any deeper into this, Jera in astrology is moving into Leo on Friday, the 20th. But Jera, Mercury, and Mars are pretty much staying within 10 degrees of each other, even though they're all coming out of Cancer, and they're moving into Leo. Even though Mars won't actually move into Leo until July. But you're going to have Jera moving into Leo on the 20th, Mercury moving into Leo on the 26th, and then right as we approach July, Mars will be moving into Leo, but they're 10 degrees within each other, all three of them. So it's like a whoom of energy that's coming and just slowly moving across that line. So that's a very powerful three-planet combination that's got a lot of stuff going on coming out of Cancer and going into Mercury, even though it's taking place from the 20th through the last day of the month. And I want you to understand that. When I look at the astrology chart, I'll give you a better understanding of what I mean. Now, I've been saying that Neptune goes retrograde on the 21st. This is actually a good thing for you because Neptune is turned around and talking to you about how to create in a more healthy way. However, until the 21st, it technically is in a shadow with Lilith there. Now, Spirit also gives me, when I was told to come do the reading, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm being given a sword and I'm being given 4. The sword is downward, like as if it was thrown in the ground. So this tells me, get your thinking grounded. Get your thinking grounded. Not just your, and like I said, this has to do with soulfulness. So this is coming into, for you, it's like your own personal age of Aquarius, okay? Because with the Lilith here, it's definitely making you rise. But it's also fearful of that rise at the same time. There's a healthy healing change going on, but there's definitely a fear of that change at the same time. Because Lilith, is your powerful feminine, nobody's going to make me do a damn thing I don't want to do. But in this house, in your Pisces house, she's very compassionate where she's normally not. She's very, let me take a chance where she's normally not. She's normally, I'm standing in my power, but now she's wanting to have healing. She's wanting to have a little bit more compassion. She's wanting to be loved herself. She's wanting to be forgiven herself. And this is where your grounding energy is coming importance to you, because you, especially with Neptune, until the 21st in shadow for you guys in Pisces, this could be very easily driven in the wrong direction, misunderstood. Very easily, if you're not grounded, making your thinking and your heart not communicate well. This is why I said right off the bat, Spirit is telling me it's your 4. Your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical. Get them in balance. Keep yourself in balance. Take yourself the time to do what you need to do to make balance for yourself. Love yourself properly so that you can figure out the directions that you need and honestly be grounded in a soulful, healthy way for yourself of understanding what you need, especially until Neptune goes retrograde on the 21st. And then it'll be inwardly communicating about all that stuff that it was picking up in shadow and what it wasn't working for you. Because then it's going to start working towards well, now I'll figure out what all that funky junk was about. More or less, because right now it's just collecting funky junk from a darker aspect, but I can't see anything but from a darker aspect until the 21st. After the 21st, it's going to start being able to really I want to say like a Virgo, start, putting it proper categories and really start to sift through it and make it right. But also on the 21st, you have Cancer, which is not Cancer, you have Sun moving into Cancer. So those are your big moving situations going on. Now, most people aren't going to talk to you about Jera. And this is why I'm taking a moment to pull out my rune book and explain to you. Jera is, because, okay, Neptune in your sign is specifically talking to Mercury, Mars, and Jera as it moves from Cancer and into Leo. This is why I'm going this deep on this information for you, because I really feel like I'm being told, go deep. So, Jera in the runes in my communication is the year, the harvest, the season. It is your earlier efforts being realized, promise to success, but it does speak to you about timing, natural cycles, and waiting for the results. It is the harvest. It is patience. It is timing. It is rewards for the efforts. It is the cycle of life, returning of energy. It is outward cycle of natural flow from beginning to end. It is also dealing with the relationship of the environment and putting energy into the external. Now, I feel like this is an attunement for you. I feel like it really is an attunement for you, helping you get your, everything in unblocking situations and unblocking healings is what I really feel like it is. But like I said, for this whole time, let me double check, but for the whole time of from 15th all the way pretty much up until the 27th, and still kind of after that, not fully, but kind of, you have, let me go back to where I was. You have Neptune, like I said, which is in shadow, and then it will flip into retrograde, which will start making it more positive on the 21st. But it is communicating with these three signs as they move from Cancer to Leo. And for you directly, this is, let me find another thing here. This is your first house, speaking to your 1, 2, 3, 4, to your fifth house. This has everything to do with your creativity. This is why they're saying get your mind right, get your grounding right, because if your mind is wrong, your mind is going to create unhealthy waters. Okay, because your universal fifth house is your children, it's your creativity, it's your pursuit of pleasure, for crying out loud. It's your, where love is found, where love starts to be created. It's your personal interests, it's your gambling, your hobbies, your sports, your teaching, your dancing, your creativity, your creative expression of who and what you are. It's the pursuit of pleasure of life. It's how are you enjoying life? It's also talking about your sexual dating relationships. Actually becoming a relationship, dating relationships. This is the creativity. This is also in a form, I'm being told right now, at least for you right now, I'm being told this is also your solar plexus energy. Your solar plexus energy. And are you having the power to believe in that solar plexus? I call the solar plexus your inner belly dancer. Yeah, because right now, I don't know if you can tell, but as my eyes start getting really bigger, that's spirit. I'm getting the inner belly dancer, and what I'm being told is when it's the solar plexus, the way I look at it is the inner belly dancer, no matter how healthy or unhealthy you are, when you feel good about yourself and you can express yourself and you can stand tall and feel good with who and what you are, sexy with who and what you are, you can feel able to stand tall because you're creative within your power. You're creative with who and what you are. You're happy with who and what you are. It comes then into your solar plexus, and then it starts to bring your I will into action, because from the sacral chakra you start to feel You get that, like I said, your inner belly dancer inside makes you feel like you could do things maybe you normally wouldn't feel on your own. It's helping you come into your own personal sexuality and liking who you are. And within that energy brings you to that solar plexus of being able to know you can. I can, I will, I do. And this is when you start to actually cast the proper spells in a healthy way on your life. And this is what I'm saying is this energy is all speaking to your 5th and 6th house, because Leo is your 6th house. Your 5th house is Cancer. So if you've got to get that part in healthy from the Cancer energy before the 21st, before the 20th, because this is Jera. This is, all of Jera in astrology is sacrificing commitment to the not relationships, to your pursuit of pleasure. Are you giving yourself the sacrifice and commitment that you need? Not them, fuck them, that you need. Are you giving yourself the caressing, like taking yourself the bath to give yourself, like a salt bath to revitalize your energy? Take the time you need for you to build that energy back up is what I'm getting. Build that energy back up, because it's also speaking with Mercury in your communication, as well as with Mars. This is your inner warrior, your inner passion, your inner action, your inner fire. All of this is saying, take the time you need to rekindle this for yourself, to re-believe in yourself, like I said, that inner belly dancer, that inner sexuality, the inner faith in yourself, inner knowing in yourself, so that it brings that I will and I can into who you are. And then it's speaking to that pursuit of pleasure, but then it's also speaking to your daily situations as it moves from the 21st, from the 20th and the 26th out, because this is also talking about right when Neptune is going to go retrograde. So it's still going to have a little bit of time in that pursuit of pleasure before it shifts over to that universal 6th house, which is your service, your diet, your health, your ability to work, your hygiene. This is all talking about how you take care of yourself, how you take care of your mundane daily tasks, from bathing yourself and feeling good about yourself before you leave work to leave your home and enter work. This is talking about re-establishing how you feel about yourself, from the enjoyment of giving yourself the ability to enjoy, and then move it into the outer community and in your mundane daily tasks. This is your work also. This is also so much more than this. This is higher elevation of loving yourself is what I'm getting. And Neptune is definitely going to help speak to this energy as it comes from the Cancer and into Leo. Like I said, this is definitely powerful for you. But this is also what you need to understand, because this is coming of your unconscious actions. If you are unconsciously not giving yourself the proper love, then you might accidentally be letting that Neptune energy take you in the wrong direction because of that shadow energy. Because this is digging deep with the Lilith here. Okay? So this has to do with some of that invisibility of the world, or of the outer community, how you feel about yourself. This is your unconscious actions being brought to light. This is that introvert starting to believe in itself. This is those more private areas starting to believe in themselves. This is how you create your free will to work for you. Okay? And then it starts to move into most of, like I said, most of your outer community that might actually be going on is more in your freaking head. I mean, there are things going on. I mean, you have Palace with Haumea and Make in your 8th house. So this is strategic thinking within the relationships. This is the lotus flower. Where are you on the lotus flower of growth? This is the rules within the relationships. What are the responsibilities to the relationships? How is the commitment within those relationships and the harmony in those relationships serving you? You are going to be acknowledging that, but it's not really connecting with anybody. It's not really having a conversation. It's just speaking of acknowledging it and being a mediator within the relationships and acknowledging if you still want them. Because this is where your collective consciousness is actually viewing things from. So you've got to realize more of the communication that's going on with you is going on with you. And I mean, and when I say it like that, because when I'm looking at the chart, it's going on this side of the chart, not this side. And this is your ascendant side. This is your ego side. This is your personal self-identity side. This is the introvert side. This is your self-motivated side, your action-oriented and self-assertive side. So this is getting your inside right, getting your inside set right. Even though you think maybe in your outer community there might be other stuff going on or people thinking things of you, but I think this is more of you allowing some negative thinking in your head to talk some shit to you. This is about getting your oneness right. That's really what this is coming down to. Getting your oneness right. Because most of this information is going on from the 1st through the 5th house. Like I said, and that's mainly the home, the karmic home of who and what you are. Understanding what you've created yourself to be, whether it was on purpose or accident, of past lives, and you're dealing with them. And I say everything from your past that's no longer a part of your life is still a past life, even if it was just yesterday. Okay? So this is creating who you've been, realizing where some of that isn't the identity you wished it to be, coming to terms with that and healing it is what I really feel like a lot of this is about. Is there anything here that you guys want to highlight that I'm not getting? Because my eyes are being pulled to specific. I'm being told, check out your relationships. The responsibility within those relationships and what the value really is, as well as the responsibilities to them. I mean, even though there's not much going on in the relationship areas, there is a lot going on in life in general, and you might be evaluating your self-worth, your self-value, and within that knowledge, you may be noticing that some of the relationships aren't serving you anymore as you come into a higher vibration. And then it's also is Jupiter in your 10th house is Sagittarius, so it is speaking to you about your honor, your prestige, your reputation, your career, your financial success. This stuff should all be growing in positive ways, but it is going to be in a T-square all month with Neptune, which is where you are. You're a Pisces, and it's not necessarily getting along with Venus, so you are feeling extra sensitive, but I feel like you're creating it. I feel like in your mind, you're creating more than what really truly is going on. I'm just seeing what deck to check. They are taking me to Thoth deck first. Okay, for my Pisces, that don't count. I didn't even get to shuffle yet. For Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Pisces. Yeah, I'm not counting you either. Come back here. Really? No. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Pisces for the second half of June. Sun, Moon, Rising, Pisces for the second half of June. What do they need to know? Where are they? What's this platform? Okay, apparently that wasn't meant to come out. Yes. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yes. I actually dropped them. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in Pisces for June. Second part of June. Sun, Moon, Rising, Pisces. and Venus for second part of June. I'm definitely getting some third eye energy going on, which is talking about, your psychic energy. That's like 6 cards. That don't count. The universe. See, everything is changing. This is a wonderful thing, though. This is Saturn. This is Earth energy. I'm laughing because I don't know if you can really see, but see, that's like a bull. But what I was catching my attention is this one. No, this one looks like a fish. And that's what you guys are, the fish. So this is a completion of a cycle. This is number 400 also, as far as number signs go. This is crossing the mark. This is the final stamp. This is the central point to a new beginning. This is finishing what you started. This is ending the cycle, finishing it up, wrapping it up. We're done with this, more or less. This is going into a brand new beginning, but it also speaks of those rules, those walls, those boundaries that are going to create it and grounding that energy into a brand new earth energy. And I was just told the responsibilities of actually going through with doing it from Spirit. Then I am being given the Knight of Wands. This is Leo. This is fire. This is passion. This is the charge. This is what the Knight is charging in. You're taking the universe, you're finishing up, and you're starting a brand new beginning. Charging in for it. But like I said, make sure. I would tell you, ground yourself. Truly make sure that you're going after it right. And I would watch, charging in necessarily before the 21st, because Neptune's in shadow, and making sure you're not talking some funky shit to yourself prior to that. But this is a brand new beginning. But the Knight of Wands, which is fire, this is coming after your passion, going after your passion, a brand new start. But this is also standing from morals and standards. The Knight has morals, he has standards, he's full of passion, he's full of action. But, he definitely has standards. He's a fixed sign, because that's what Leos are. Swift and sudden actions of change. Swift, sudden actions of change, but with morals within them. I feel what I'm hearing is, if you don't stand for something, then you'll fall for anything. You have to charge in with I'm standing up for myself. I'm standing up for where my life needs to go. I'm being told to, what I'm being told by them right now is your inner resources. Trust your inner resources. Trust your inner four, but also trust your inner resources of how you keep yourself balanced to keep this coming in a healthy way. Because this is what's coming in at the beginning of the platform. Was one of you to it? Or are you just sneaking? I think you are it. This is the truth. This is Two of Swords. This is equal forces of balance. What was I just saying? You need to have balance. You are getting a brand new start. A brand new start. Something is ending. A brand new start is coming in. The World card is giving you a brand new beginning. You can have everything you want. You can charge after everything you want, but you better be in balance. Because, like I said, this is definitely an ascension I feel like you're going through. Jupiter is bringing extra energy in here. This is Libra, Gemini. This is Aquarius. So this is your communication. This is make sure that, you are speaking healthy to yourself. Is there anything else that Pisces needs to know right here? Yes, no. Just fell. Yes, no. Nope, just fell. Anything else Pisces needs to hear? Yeah, because otherwise Otherwise, they're warning you. This is the warning. That's everything that should be coming for you. But if you're talking that shit to yourself, this is 10 of Wands. You are going to block yourself and end up creating wrong and end up bringing interference. Do not, I'm telling you right now, don't set anything in stone until after the 21st. Make sure that you don't have any inward communication going on with yourself in a bad form, because it could definitely go against you if you are talking that shit to yourself and you don't even realize it. And being ruled by Neptune, it's very important right now that you are on the right side of Neptune. Because this is Mars and Pisces, Mars and water, which is coming up. This could be a short-lived happiness if you are on that negative side of it. So make sure you're taking, because I keep being told you have to be responsible to yourself. You have to be responsible to yourself and your transformation of your healing. If you are not, then it will be a short-lived healing and it will start a brand new cycle again. But you are being given the Fool. You are being given the opportunity. Listen to your inner self. Listen to your inner child. Your inner child is the key here. Your inner child is going to tell you what you truly desire, what you want, what you need, what you want to spend time having fun doing. What were we talking about in the beginning? Your pursuit of pleasure. Your inner child is going to help you, lead you in the right direction. This cannot be just all work and no play. This cannot be not loving yourself. If you're not loving yourself right off the beginning, then getting that Fool card is going to serve you absolutely no way. But as long as you're giving yourself the proper love, then you're going to be moving forward. Okay, so they're going backwards for normal. What is the challenge? And if they're giving me these two cards backwards, because I like to start, I don't have it here. This is the actual book for it. I like to start with my light and shadow deck. And I like to start with it because I want to understand where we're going with this. Because it speaks of shadow, and if they're bringing the shadow second, this is because they're knowing as a Pisces, extra compassionate, that there's a chance that you might talk yourself into some shit. So they're telling you what you need as you come into this. You need to understand the challenge is the Empress. The Empress. So this could be a Taurus in your way. But this could also be you speaking about nourishing yourself. This is because the Empress is a nourishing person, so it really shouldn't be in your way. But this would be, if you're looking at it from a negative point of view, this would be why the Empress is showing up. And I said it would be in your way. But truthfully, what they're telling you is nurture yourself. Nurture yourself. Mother Earth, just like the Earth nurtures us. It is Mother Earth. It is Mother Earth and herself, nurturing, creative, fruitful, inspiring, and productiveness. This is telling you to be the Empress. Be the Empress that's inside of you. But this is a challenge. So this is saying they are aware that you have trouble. You're compassionate. Pisces, you guys are compassionate. You love everybody and you want to believe good about everybody. But you end up getting walked on because you don't believe in yourself. And this is what this is about. Believing in yourself. Because your next one is the Hermit. This is challenging you to go inside and love you. Love you right to give you what you need. Exactly what I'm talking about. The sun. But the sun for me is not the light. It is the light, it is joy, and success, but it is also shadow. I'm always shown the sun in Rush in Hebrew. It is the punishment or the blessing. You create your life every single day, whether it is a punishment or a blessing. What are you creating? This is what they're talking about, because you should have pride in what you're doing. You should have pride in what you're doing and the success that you are making and the progress that you are making. Building towards and gaining new health, new life, new beginnings. You should be feeling, you should be You should be proud of that. That's not saying that you're egotistical. That's not saying that you're a narcissist. If you've worked hard to be healthy, to create a healthy life, you should fucking be proud of that. But if the sun is giving you crap because you're talking to yourself and you're into the punishment instead of the blessing, then you can't. That's what this is coming down to. This is all about self-belief. Like I said, this is going right back. This whole thing, this whole thing is going into, like I said, that solar plexus and that sacral chakra and ascending, because what they are giving you is the Two of Cups. And in this case, it could be relationships. But I really feel in this case, this is freaking loving yourself. Love yourself. You love yourself, then everything is going to start coming clear. Falling back in love with yourself is what I really feel this is. Now, I'm not saying that this, because this little thing with the cups, I'm being shown it in green. So that is growth. That is growth with your spirit, growth with your psychic energy, growth with who and what you are. And it is the Two of Cups. It is Venus in Cancer. It's nesting in the emotions of truth of who and what you are, and loving yourself for the things that you are, good or bad, and allowing yourself to be acceptable with that. I feel like this is what's most important for you. Let me see. Because I may run out, but I'm only on the last card trying to find out what the special inspiration is for you. For all my Pisces. You are the wrong way. Is there anything special that you all have to give Pisces? You're one of these three cards. Which one? Master the steps. Master the step you are on. This is what they are telling you. Master the step you are on before you start going crazy trying to move forward. Because you have to master this in order to fully move forward in the most healthiest way. And when you love yourself and you start giving yourself what you need, then the rest will start to come. Alright, what else? Seek to enlarge your appreciation of the beauty of nature, animals, and humans, which is already what you do being a Pisces. To feel your innate sense of truth, develop open-mindedness. To feel your innate sense of truth, develop open-mindedness. Like I said, this feels like it's a glorious brand new beginning of self-value, self-worth. And I think that that's a wonderful thing. But they're reminding me again, you are responsible to the responsibilities of your own healing first and foremost. You can't expect anybody else to get you there. It's not about not being compassionate. You are compassionate. It's about not forgetting to be compassionate again to yourself first. No, there's nothing else. I love you. And see you next month in July. Bye, guys.